this is what I'll leave you with here. How many people read the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad? Or familiar with it? Okay, less than half the room. I spent some time with Robert Kiyosaki, the author, and one of the most impactful things. I didn't get a chance to tell you all the rest of my story, but I learned a few concepts about leverage. Leverage. How many people know about leveraged income, passive income? He talks about what the wealthy teach their children about money that the poor and middle class don't. And when I learned this concept of leverage, it was actually in 1994. Some of you all might remember Carlton Sheets' No Money Down real estate program. Maybe it wasn't that popular out here. How many people remember that? Okay, okay, a lot of people. I was 14 years old. This is around the same time I was introduced to Napoleon Hill. And my dad was watching a video, and that's when I was introduced to the concept of leveraged income. I'm like, what? Leverage what? And that means you set up assets that generate income when you're not physically working. Also known as passive income, also known as residual income, right? And there's lots of different ways to create residual income. And one of the things we teach is that no matter what you do or how much you make, the scariest financial position you can ever be in is when all of your income is based on one source, and that's you. Because what happens if you can't work, don't want to work, something happens, what happens to your livelihood? So it's really important to set up multiple streams of income, but not just multiple streams of income that require all of your efforts, but that create leverage streams. So if you are in transition, you have several other streams of income to pull from. I was first introduced to real estate investing, having rental properties. And I didn't have any money to invest, so no money down was a very attractive concept to me, right? I didn't have any money to put down. And I watched my mom do it. I asked her, Mom, how did you ever get started in real estate? She said, I read a book at 19 years old by Robert Allen called Nothing Down. And by the end of that month, I purchased my first property with no money and no credit. 19 years old. So it's something learnable, right? So if you have myths in your mind that say that's impossible, that stuff doesn't work, it's just an infomercial, it's not true. People are doing very well in this very economy, okay? Robert Allen wrote another book I highly recommend. It's called Multiple Streams of Income. There's so many different options out there, but it's not like it's not a lottery ticket. You still have to work. You have to find a mentor. You've got to get educated. But Multiple Streams of Income by Robert Allen, A-L-L-E-N, and that'll open you up to how to create leverage. And I think for many people, this can be a great time if you're in transition to really set a new course in the midst of the job search. But the chart you see behind me is the Cashflow Quadrant. It's Robert Kiyosaki's second book in the Rich Dad, Poor Dad series. And I'm going to end up with this. Am I good for another 60 seconds? Okay. He talks about the 4 ways that people earn income. In the top left corner, you see where it says E. E is for employee. S quadrant right below in the bottom left corner is for self-employed or small business owner. How many people have been self-employed, owned a business? How many ever felt like the business owns you? Right? So each one has strengths and weaknesses. There's no one that's better than the other, but they're each different and have different core values. Those 2 quadrants, the employee quadrant and the self-employed quadrant, are on the left side. That's typically where the poor and middle class generate the majority of their income. On the right side, this is the area that I hadn't been taught in school. This is the area that bugged me when I found out it existed, and I could not believe that we go through our entire educational lives, thousands of hours in school, and nobody teaches us about leverage. So the top right corner is the B quadrant. It stands for business owner, as in big business. It means you have a system, and even if at some point you step away from the system, it's still generating income in spite of your personal efforts. How many people took a class called How to Become Wealthy 101 in school? Right? How to become financially independent. If it existed, I would have been sitting next to you in the front row probably, right? But he has resources available in that regard. And then the I quadrant at the bottom is the investor quadrant. That's when money is making money for you. You learn to invest a percentage of the income that you earn. If you're thinking, I don't have enough money right now to do that, I'm in transition, just pick up a book by its very title suggested. It might help. The last thing I'm going to leave you all with is, and I wish I had more time, but the book we don't read cannot help us. The class we don't attend cannot help us. And that's why I applaud you all for being here. You're educating yourself, you're investing in yourself. But I would just encourage you all to think outside the job. Continue as you pursue your working career, your job, your daytime job. Don't forget to work on your gift. God bless you all. My name is Fard Bell. Please subscribe to us at BornCEO.com. We're going to have great articles and resources available for folks that want to continue to grow in this area. And it's been a pleasure. Fard and Hannah Bell, Born CEO. God bless you all.
Thank you, Fard.